Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. April 1st, April Fool's Day. Hope you're not doing anything too crazy around your friends, but you never know. Sometimes you got to play a cool practical joke just to get it all out of your system. But today we have an awesome show. This young lady here, she was a last-minute fill-in. She's an actress. This is Marianne. What's your last name? Auburn?
Schaub.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Why did I say Auburn? Charbon.
That's okay. My hair used to be Auburn.
Auburn, there you go. Okay.
There you go.
That was
That's
silly.
good.
All right, but before we get there, I got to read these awesome underwriters, and then we will get right to the show. We got Eli's Auto Repair in Taunton. We got Smoke and Ashes Tobacco Stores in Whitman, South Weymouth, Hanson, Pembroke, Rockland, and Abington. We got Abington Whitman News Corporate Office. There's the number. We got Lynch's Towing, Auto Cycle and Truck Center. One number for projects, one number for towing in Brockton. We got Eclectic Massage, a new one in Berkeley. We got John's Greenhouses and Floor Shop in Brockton. We got Middleborough Barbering Company in Middleborough. We got The Answers Dream in Whitman. We got A1's Tire and Auto Center in Brockton. We got UBG Airsoft and Laser Tag in Bridgewater. We got D&E Auto Body and Collision Center in Bridgewater, 35 years in business. We got the Gun Runner LLC in Middleborough, the store dedicated to your Second Amendment rights. We got Grant's Rental in Bridgewater. We got Easton Fitness right here in the Village Shops in Northeastern. We got Doggy Boutique, All Beat Professional Grooming for dogs and cats in Brockton, run by my great next door neighbor, Debbie Siddell. We got Joe's Diner in Taunton. We got Chapin Sheds in Whitman. And we got MDI Auto Brokers and Repair in Whitman, home of the fully certified used car. I want to thank you guys very much. And on that note now, we're going to have a little private joke about Marianne Auburn Schaub, okay? Because I screwed up the last name.
I love it. That's great.
That's what we do on Topic Time. We get silly at times, and if we forget something, and we just turn it into a positive, not a negative.
A bit. We'll
Okay.
turn it into a bit.
So, yeah, you're really upbeat. You're an upbeat woman. I'm so happy that that you were able to make it on such short notice. Now, what I do with all my guests is I find out what they were like as younger people, and you're not old, obviously, but as kids, it's to find out how they got to where they're at. But before I get to that, I want to say something that I noticed on Facebook today. You say you're an autism mom. What does that mean? Do you have a child that's autistic?
I do. I have two.
Two autistic children?
Two autistic children.
Well, now you have a third, because I am autistic as well, which makes what I do.
Are you really?
Yes. That's what makes so cool what I do, the show.
Yeah.
So now you can say you were interviewed by an autistic TV talk show host who's better than any of the rest, and I'm.
Oh, you bet your butt.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, well, that's the thing about.
Can I say that? We're
you can
community
say it.
television.
Yeah, you can say it. That's fine. That's a good word. But what I'm saying is that what it is I think because one of the qualifications of having autism is that you're obsessive and compulsive,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if that's the way it is with your kids. It is definitely the way it's been with me my whole life. But for years, what happened is, it got to me. People would give me a hard time about it, and I wasn't able to, do anything but feel like, down about it all the years. And then I realized as decades proceeded that I was a very creative person, and I just stayed focused. And eventually, I mastered the skill that I have now, and it just keeps getting better and better. So that's why I'm, doing the show. But now we're going to get to you and focus on you specifically. So tell me about where you grew up, what you were like as a kid, and then we're going to talk about you've done some acting. Are you a SAG member now?
I am.
Good.
I'm a
okay.
SAG.
We'll talk about that because that's a pretty cool deal. I know.
Huge.
The SAG president is one of my favorite actresses, Gabrielle Cateras from Beverly Hills 90210. Mm-hmm. Have you met her?
No. Gosh, no.
I know, but she congratulates everybody that signs up for SAG, and I know at some point you probably get a form letter from her.
Yes, I did get that letter, and I have it on my wall. That's
Great.
my wall of accomplishments.
Yeah, she's unbelievable. All right, let's go back to your childhood. Tell me about what you were like as a kid, and then we'll roll it forward.
Oh wow!
It's okay. I'll throw in the questions as I see fit. So
I love it.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah. But to go back a little bit too.
Okay.
Because my kids are so much a part of my life.
Good.
But the fact that they have autism for them is something that I call their superpower.
It is.
So,
there you go.
and I just wanted to say that before I move on to
I'm glad you
my
said it because I
childhood,
noticed that I figured everything happens for a reason, and so I saw that on Facebook earlier. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how the work usually.
How old
works.
are your kids?
6 and 4.
Are they the only ones, or do you have more?
They're the only two.
Okay, so they're pretty young still.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, I have a hunch there's big things ahead for them too.
Oh, huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very excited. Very excited.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about you as a kid. So tell me about that.
So me as a kid, I would like to think that I was a shy child, but I think that my family would disagree. I'm one of 7 kids.
Well, why would you like to think that you were a shy child?
Because
were you trying to keep you couldn't keep yourself from talking? Is that it? And you wanted to?
I think that I talked a lot, but I think I was more a singer.
Oh, okay.
From a very young age.
We'll get to that too. And if you want to sing something here, feel free.
Oh, gracious, no. If you want to listen to me singing stuff, there are many videos on YouTube from piano bars in New York. You can take a look.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Also, my IMDb page has a good one, but you know.
Oh, good. Okay, we'll
definitely
definitely make reference to that. My IMDb page has some stuff too. Obviously, the show was on it.
Oh yeah,
And you're going to get another credit for being on the show.
You got to get your credits.
Okay.
You know, check the star meter every week.
Well, every day, really.
Yeah.
I know it changes week to week, but I check it every day.
Yeah.
All right. So, what town did you grow up in?
Milton.
Oh, Milton. Oh, great town.
Yeah.
I went to college there, Curry College.
Oh yeah. Oh, I did some work with Curry College.
Oh yeah, what'd you do?
Yeah, we did. I worked with one of their classes.
Did you teach there?
No, I was an actor in one of their films.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
I didn't even, you know something? When was this? Because when I was there in the 80s and they never did any.
Oh, no. This was like 2 years ago, 2 or 3
Oh, okay.
years
I had
ago.
to figure it had to be much more recently.
Yeah.
They must have come a long way since I was there. They screwed me big time. I had a chance. I was an associate's student because I had transferred from Mount Ida for 3 years where I was in Newton. And I got my bachelor's at Curry. Now, I had an opportunity to do an internship in 1989 with the Channel 56 10 o'clock news. But because I was a transfer student, they wouldn't allow it. They wouldn't allow any student that you had to be, the rule was you had to be a 4-year student. But I was just as qualified as any of them with my history. I worked the previous summer at a local newspaper covering a lot of stuff. And they should have at least given me a chance. So I was pretty aggravated. But at least, again, you turn lemons into lemonade, and here we are. So
exactly.
But you say you were in a film there, so I assume it was produced by one of the students, right?
Yeah. So it was the class. The class. Every student was assigned the particular role on production.
I understand.
So yeah, but they used a red cam camera, which I've now learned is like one of the bigger models, the newer models, and so the clips were amazing.
Okay.
It was a cute little, not a cute, it was terrible. It was like, it ended up with a stabbing at the end of it, this short film.
Were you stabbed?
But no. My daughter in the film did the stabbing.
Oh.
But
she did the stabbing or she was stabbed? Didn't she? She
did
stabbed
the
someone
stabbing.
else?
She was the stabber. And then I took the knife and was cleaning it off.
Oh, okay. Well, that was nice. Yeah. Well, that sounds like a nice film.
Yeah, it was very, very family friendly.
Oh, yeah.
I
assume it wasn't too long. I imagine it was probably within the 15 to 20 minute range.
Oh, shorter than that.
Oh,
it took 2 days to shoot.
You shot it on campus? On Curry
No. The 2 of the students, their parents allowed us to go.
Oh, to the house?
To the houses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was really cool.
They must have it, because they didn't have anything like that I was aware of. I was a communications major. I didn't know anything about filming or any of that stuff when I was there. They had a radio station. They probably still do, and I know some people that did some stuff there. And they had a nice library. The Hafer Library is pretty cool, if you know Hafer. But it sounds to me like you didn't really do anything on the campus. You just worked with the students.
The audition was on the campus.
Oh, it was? Okay, so you auditioned and they picked you out of a few people, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, was that your first acting role?
No. I started pretty young.
All right, well, tell me about...
That was one of my first professional ones, but yeah.
Okay, so all right, but let's go back to when you were really young. What was that all about?
I'm going to say my first acting role was when I was Ebenezer Scrooge in A Christmas Carol.
I always love a transgender role.
Yeah, well, the thing is that we used to have those textbooks in school for language arts.
Okay.
And at the end, there was always a play. And so in 5th grade, the play was A Christmas Carol.
Of course.
And the teacher had said, Mrs. Kelly, she said that we were going to do auditions for Scrooge because it was a really big part and we were going to do the play.
Right, Scrooge was the star of the play. He was
right.
He was the He was the antagonist, but he was the star.
Yeah. He's the Michael Caine. Michael Caine in A Muppet Christmas Carol.
Exactly.
Right. So, and this is way before Muppet Christmas Carol, but
of course.
But I remember going home that night and just memorizing the whole first act of Scrooge's lines. And
humbug. How hard is it to memorize?
Right. Yeah. There was a lot.
There
was a lot for
kidding.
a 5th grade. But no, but it's, so I went in that next day and when Mrs. Kelly asked who wanted to audition and my hand went right up.
Oh, there you go.
It was
and how old were you then?
5th grade probably.
5th grade, so you were 10 or 11. Got it.
Like
wow.
That. Yeah. And but that was that was my vibe.
That was the launching pad for you.
Yeah, in theater. In theater.
That's right. Okay, it was theater, but it was acting.
Yeah.
So that was your first role in anything, basically.
Well, I used to sing at church. That was my big.
So you did. So you really did a lot of singing as well. But I guess you never decided to try and carry it to the next level. You cared more about acting than singing, right?
Well, I combined the two.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you do opera?
No, musical theater.
Oh, okay, cool. And that was it when you were still in elementary school?
That was more when I was in high school.
High school,
Yeah.
cool.
I went to Fontbonne and
I've heard of that. Is that
Yeah.
that's a private school, right?
all girls, Catholic.
Oh, I wouldn't
yeah,
have minded
Milton.
just raiding it sometime.
Yeah.
Well, you know how it is.
Hey, but
Yeah.
we are a very strong group of women.
Well,
so-
but where was it? Is that in Milton also?
It is in Milton,
It is.
yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I wasn't sure about that. Cool.
Yeah.
Now, did your parents want you to, behave more? Is that why they sent you to a parochial school?
No.
I asked that from a lot of my guests, and most of them
that's
tell
funny.
me. Well, I mean, most of the guests tell me that if their parents sent them to parochial schools just to get a better education, not so not so the nuns wouldn't whip them on the hand or whatever. For whatever.
Oh, it was way beyond that.
Oh, good,
We're
okay.
way beyond that. No.
Okay. You
thank
obviously didn't
goodness.
have to stay overnight. You must have commuted from your house, being that you were still in Milton, right? You
Oh,
didn't-
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So you did musical theater and you sang in church.
Yeah.
Okay. You're a pretty lady. Did you ever do modeling too?
No.
Okay.
No, that was never on my radar.
All righty. Okay, that's
you
fine.
know. Thank you,
Oh,
but
sure.
no.
Well, why do
No.
you think I picked you? Why do you think I asked you to do the show?
Hey,
That's
know.
the first thing I know. What do you think? First thing I notice when I ask a woman, I mean, a guy too. If a guy's a good, listen, I'm objectively speaking. There's nothing wrong with having a good-looking guy on as a guest, because I figured it's going to get us views.
Hey, in this business,
I know.
you
of
know
course.
how to work it. This
I
is
know.
how
I
the
absolutely
business
do.
works. So
all
I
right.
appreciate
All right.
it.
So okay. So you didn't do modeling, but when you after high school, what did you do after? Did you go to college afterwards?
Yes, I went to Emerson.
Oh, where else? Okay. When did you major in Emerson? Communication?
Musical theater.
Oh, okay. So you carried it from high school to Emerson. Did you get did you do any kind of interesting internships from Emerson?
Not through Emerson. No. I
Really?
really enjoyed my time in college.
Okay, but what
So-
did you? Well, here's the thing. This is interesting. Now you say you did a film at Curry, or
Yeah.
because you were auditioned. I've done films for Emerson. I've actually worked with some of the students myself because, I'm an actor too. I've had a couple of roles in major films, and I've had roles in minor films too from people I've had on the show that have inserted me in as extras for kind of as a reward for having me on as guests. But Emerson is usually, when you think of Emerson, you think of pretty much mostly filmmaking. Obviously, in your case, there was no filmmaking. It was just, or was the musical theater involved, created for film as well as stage acting?
The way that Emerson is set up, there was, for the classes, for courses, it
Yep.
was very specific to what your major was.
All right.
But when it came to projects, it always seemed like it was no holds barred. Anybody can come on in and work. So there were
Right.
acting students doing, or musical theater doing the film with the film guys. But I had friends in the film department, but
right.
I very rarely did anything on film. I was theater.
Theater
all
only.
the
Okay,
way.
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, you got a lot of gall to be able to do that, because it's not even, because theater, you don't get it back. You do it, you screw up once and you lose it. So,
Yeah.
and I did when I was a kid at camp back in 1970, when I was myself at that time, I was going into 6th grade. I did some theater, and it was pretty funny. All the kids at that camp, on Friday nights, we had plays and stuff at the little forum, and this camp was on the Cape.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's a little more intense when you're in college and you're trying to create an impression that you're a great actress. Did you, when you did this, what was your intention from Emerson? What did you want to move on to after Emerson? What was your goals from there?
I had no idea.
Okay.
I think that
Because a lot of people specialize, but you didn't. That's what makes it unusual. Usually, people that go to Emerson, they want to get a job in TV production or in the film industry, or they want to be actors, obviously. But you just wanted to do it, just carry it out as far as you could, see how it felt, and then just keep your eyes open for the next opportunity after you left, right?
it was really true.
Okay.
Right.
Well, that having been said, what did you do after you left Emerson?
After I left, I moved to New York City for a little bit.
For acting?
Just to go. I figured, the reason I continued on with musical theater at Emerson was because it was something that, I was told I was good at.
Oh,
and
good.
I was trying to sort of push myself forward. But, this was before social media. This was my senior year at Emerson, was when Facebook first came to our campus.
Okay. Well, that wasn't that long ago. That was only like
wasn't.
17 years ago.
But to understand what the entertainment world is now, as opposed to, that was
There's been a lot of advances, obviously.
So many different, right. So now it's like, this whole bigger playing field of what you're dealing with. And,
Okay.
but it was so, there was, in my life, the way I wanted to go, I guess, was following in the direction of graduating with a musical theater degree. What do? You move to New York.
Okay.
You know?
So,
And I think that there was a desire to do it.
well, what
but
did you?
like,
All right. Well, now, what did you do when you were in New York?
I moved back home to Boston.
Well, how long were you there for?
I was there for about, I was there for a couple of years.
Well,
And I was back and forth because I couldn't figure out how to make it
Well,
work
what-
of the jobs and, I didn't
Did you
really
have?
want
Did
to
you have
audition.
any? What did you do? Did you work in New York when you
I
were there?
did.
Doing what?
I did. So I worked a little bit collaborating with NYU and their graduate musical theater
Okay.
writing program.
Okay, so you were employed by NYU.
No, not employed in,
You-
in
oh, you
that
were freelance
sense.
with them? Is
But I
that
would freelance.
Okay.
One of my best friends in the whole world, Greg,
Okay.
was a graduate student there
Yep.
in that program. And so whenever, I used to pal around with that crew, and it was really awesome. They would create a song or a
cool.
scene,
So
and
they
they'd call
wrote
us
it, yeah.
in,
Okay.
as their acting friends. And I had so many opportunities to perform with, these unbelievable Broadway composers.
Yeah.
And so for me, I much more enjoyed that than, the auditioning and the performing. Like the watching of the creating of a musical was much more fascinating to me.
Watching it, but as opposed to being in it.
Yeah.
Well, what role did you have then? If you were just watching?
When I would go in, I would have like these roles that were not seen by anybody else, and it was like I would be given like my singing part, and this is my role to do it, and then I'd perform it. But I got
Wait
to
a minute.
watch the whole
How is it
process.
not seen by anybody else? You
Because
lost me.
It was the program was graduate school, so
Okay.
it was we would present the musicals as. Is there a particular phrase for it? But like with music stands,
Okay.
just like a reading would do like a concert version of it.
Well, nobody would see it.
We would invite people
I see
and
what
like
you
the
mean.
professors, but it
Okay.
would be like their project. Their thesis was writing, a full-length musical.
Okay.
So, but it was so fascinating.
Well, what I got to ask you was why did you never try out for a Broadway play at all when you were there? A Broadway play or play in any of the other rather than New York venues?
I did audition for something up here that played. It was called Broad Comedy.
Okay.
And that played at the Stewart Street Playhouse for.
Were you in it?
I was in it.
You won it. Cool.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
an all-female comedy sketch show.
Wow.
And I think they're out in Montana now. Katie Goodman. Hi, Katie.
Oh, Katie.
They travel everywhere.
I know,
I met her
wow.
in Boston.
Cool.
But they
They
do
just happened to
locally
be
in
sticking.
Bozeman.
They happened to be passing through when you had the hankering to do something, and you ended up with them, and you auditioned.
Yeah, luckily I did.
Well, I always say
and they
everything
were
happens for a
very
reason.
kind to me.
Well, right. And I always say everything happens for a reason. It wasn't a
Yeah,
coincidence. It was meant to be.
It was.
Okay.
It was.
Now, but let's say, did you think of maybe joining them so you could travel with them?
No. No. I was too afraid, I think, at that point. Plus, I had got a really great opportunity to, I think around that time, to go work for, I guess I can say it, to go work for Tony Bennett.
Wow.
New York.
Why can't you say it? Why would
Well,
you even think
it was through, because, it wasn't anything to do with me. It was through a temp agency.
Yeah, but
and,
Tony Bennett.
But it was, and I was.
Who left his heart in
I
San
was
Francisco,
very
Tony Bennett?
slow. I was low totem,
Okay.
But my job was very important. And
Everybody's job is important when you work for Tony Bennett.
it was a very eye-opening experience. I was an assistant to a very important person
Okay.
who was such an amazing person.
Okay.
I'm not sure how much I can share, but that's
Okay. Well,
yeah, he was
if
a
you can't,
cool
if you're
dude.
afraid, if you don't want to share too much, then that's fine.
Yeah, but it was great. It was
course
a
it
great
was.
opportunity.
Yep.
I think that I stayed too long at the fair because I was much more at that point. I could do a job like that, but I'm just built to be a performer and an
Okay.
entertainer. So I think that he knew that as well, and so we parted ways. I think around this time it was
How many years ago was this?
2008.
Okay, so you're talking
think.
13 years ago.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But it was an incredible experience.
I'm sure it was.
But that's what really took me out of, because it brought me back to New York. There
Okay.
was something about New York. I had all of my really good friends, my chosen family that were still living there. So it was, back and forth from Boston to New York.
Wow.
And,
All right, when you went
yeah.
back to New York, what did you do the second time when you were there?
What did I do the second time? I mean, we
Did
did.
you go back to NYU and work with them again?
I was still working with them, and
All
then
right.
a lot of their I call them kids because we were all kids.
Yeah.
In the program, they started doing all these cabaret shows of their music.
Oh my
And like
goodness.
putting up these musicals.
Yeah.
And so there was one that I got to do. I mean, I have a very great group of songs. My repertoire is full of these original, beautiful songs that these people created that I was able to get up and sing in New York City.
So I'm wondering why.
Yeah.
Okay, so now today, currently, are you still
Yeah.
doing? Are you performing musical theater and at all, or even musical singing in films?
No.
All
no,
right. What are you
no.
doing now? You just. When did you join SAG? I know you mentioned.
So
that
I joined SAG last February 14th on
Valentine's Day. This year of 2021 or 2020?
No, 2020.
Okay, just before the virus.
Right before everything.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
And what have they gotten you? Anything gotten you stuff to do?
Yeah, they
Good.
really have. I should plug Boston Casting and CP Casting are the reason that I have my SAG card.
Well, I'm definitely on the
You
Boston
know?
Casting mailing list. I went to the
Yeah.
25th anniversary party in 2016.
Oh yeah,
Well,
yeah.
They invited me.
It was. That's.
And I was able to hand my
For my
Topic
take,
Time
where
business
you
card
need to
out to a
go.
lot of actors that I could get on the show.
Yeah.
At the time. No, all right, that's
Yeah.
wonderful. So you work with, and I've auditioned for stuff at CP, but I never got it.
Oh yeah, of course.
But I'm okay with that. I'm fine with this. but-
99% of the time.
Right.
Just
exactly.
going in there and
All right,
just doing it.
All right. Now, have you ever written anything yourself that you?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Yes, so I'm also a screenwriter,
Okay.
aspiring screenwriter. I have a feature and a pilot that are on my own time. They're organically being written. I have these, I mean, they're great stories, but they're not.
What are they fiction? Are they truth? Are they based on your life?
No, nothing at all like that. One is a period drama, and the other is the
You mean
feature.
like a dated like from a past era?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then the pilot is I don't know. It's a comedy, but it's a dark comedy.
I got it. Okay.
So we'll see where it goes.
That's great.
But that's really where I'd prefer to be, you know. So I do a lot. Right now, I do a lot of background acting, and that's why I
Okay.
work with the Boston Casting and CP Casting, who, you know, out of nowhere, with Nosferatu being up here and all of the films and TV shows that are coming, I got my first day on set and as a background.
When was this? Obviously since Valentine's Day of last year.
No, well, it was before I was SAG.
Oh, you were?
So
Oh,
yeah, but
okay.
I was called in, I signed up to do this scene in Nosferatu or
Okay.
whatever as an extra.
Okay.
And through that, I met Marilyn Bush and Susan Singer,
Okay.
who just sort of guided me on my next
Well, who are they?
taking
What do
this
they do? Are
classes. They were extras as
Oh,
well.
they were? Okay.
They
So
were there my first day of background.
But they've done it a few times. They've done it a lot of times. That's why they have the
had.
experience. And it
Yeah,
helped
and they
you.
were so welcoming. And it was
Yep.
I mean, they just knew, and they just, you know, they kept telling me about, you know, a workshop with Ann Mohall of LDI Pro.
Oh, of course, I know Ann.
Yep, and
Yep.
I went down to a conversation with her. It was so much of a whirlwind from taking 2 days to film background on Nosferatu, and then I was taking, you know, going to Ann's class, and then I was taking Kyle's class at CP Casting.
Okay, wow.
And you know, and Angela, I took a class of the
Angela
business
Perry, right?
with Angela. Yep.
Yep.
I just was at that point. My kids were a little older. Maybe I could do this.
When did you have time to have your kids? I must have
I
been.
did.
If you don't mind my asking, I don't want to
no,
get to.
No, it's fine. I moved back to Boston, and within a couple of years, met my husband.
Okay.
And we had our kids.
Okay.
And we're now divorced,
Yep, yep.
but co-parenting.
Okay.
And he's actually, after I had done all these classes, we were out shopping with the kids, and I got a phone call to do a commercial up in New Hampshire, in
Okay.
Nashua.
Yep.
And or I got an email that said, "Call if you can do it." And Jim, my co-parent's like, "You got to do it. You got to do it.
Yeah.
Call back." And so I did, and I was filming this. I think it was Peters of Nashua. No, it was Norfolk Kitchen and Bath.
Cool, I know those. I've
Yeah.
probably seen you because I
Yeah.
see those commercials all the time, and a lot of my guests that I've had on Topic Time have been in those commercials.
Yeah.
Like Peter Needham and this girl named...
Peter Needham was when I did.
He was
first
here. I had
get-
him on a couple
Yep.
years ago.
Yep, he was. We did that. We did
Okay.
the Peters of Nissan, and it was CRG. I think that's who was filming it. But it was like I had
Paul Noonan,
never.
too.
Yeah, I
he
had
was-
never imagined going from theater to being on.
that's
Being on camera never entered my mind.
Well,
like
there
it
you go.
never at all.
Well, now you're on the road to greatness
Yeah.
like you've never been before. After being on Topic Time.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
This
Well,
is it. This is my first interview. Next stop, Conan.
Yeah, now,
know?
from then on, from this, nothing but spirals of greatness are going to emerge.
Yeah, I hope.
Well, I
from
know
your
they will,
lips.
because it happens to just about every guest I've interviewed.
Oh, good.
Well, guess what? We're down to the final 5 minutes of the show.
Oh my gracious!
I know, it's
Wow.
hard to believe. So what I want you to do, like I told you at the beginning, is look at the camera, give quick shouts out to people that are going to see the show. You can start with your kids and the father of your kids if you want, and some of the
Yeah.
people that you've worked with, and then we'll wrap the show up, just like we started it with my song.
Oh my gracious. Okay, so we'll say hi to Brody and to Jordan, my two kids. Jim, what's going on? My friends Kathy, Greg, Aaron. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm accepting an award. Kathy, Greg, Aaron, and Jenny. My family, Mom, Dad, Matthew, Michael, Chris, Steph, Andrew, Brooke, Susie. Liz. Do we have any pets? I don't think so. And I don't know. Just hi everybody at St. Agatha Parish, celebrating Holy Week. That's Holy Week this week.
Yeah, I guess it is.
And just have a hi. That's it. Because,
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think
Well-
I have anything else.
Well, I hope you had fun with me.
It was so great. This is awesome.
Thank
this
you.
is a wonderful sort of
On platform, I know.
Thursday.
I'd argue if I could.
Platform. Oh my gosh.
Well, it's a
Any
platform to launch
exposure.
everybody's
All
success.
publicity.
Mine included. All right. Well, one more thing I'm going to ask you before we wrap the show up is if you
Sure.
had a good time with me, talk to your people that that would be great guests on the show. Have them contact me. You got my digits now.
Yes,
You
yes,
you
of
can
course.
Just,
Watch
have them text
out.
me, and we'll get them on as guests.
Oh, I love it.
And you
yeah.
did a wonderful job considering we really didn't have any footage, but I think you pretty much described everything. And
You can see my footage on my IMDb page.
All right,
It's
there you go.
But don't follow me on Twitter. Just don't do it.
Okay, you heard her. You heard it here. Okay,
Yeah.
well, you ready to wrap it up like we
I'm
began?
ready. Let's do it.
Okay, folks, thanks for watching Topic Time. More great episodes to follow. Take care. See you next week. Take care. Bye. And here we go.